For centuries, the idea of a canal through Nicaragua has fascinated empires and engineers alike. The dream of carving a path between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, right through the heart of Central America, has inspired countless explorers, visionaries, and governments. From Spanish colonial ambitions to American industrialists, the concept has lingered, always just out of reach, waiting for the right moment and the right backers to bring it to life. The goal, a new waterway connecting the Atlantic and Pacific, rivaling the legendary Panama Canal. Such a route would reshape global shipping, offering an alternative to one of the world's most vital and congested maritime shortcuts. In the 21st century, this old dream was revived with a bold, Chinese-backed proposal. Suddenly, what once seemed impossible was back on the table, with new technology and international investment fueling hope. The plan? A canal 3 times longer than Panama's, built for the world's largest ships. It would cut across lakes, rivers, and forests, requiring unprecedented engineering and environmental management. It promised to transform Nicaragua's economy, create jobs, and put the country on the global map. New roads, ports, and infrastructure would reach even the most remote communities, bringing hope for a brighter future. Ships too big for Panama would finally have a route, saving time and money for global trade. The canal could ease bottlenecks and open new possibilities for international commerce. President Daniel Ortega's government saw it as a path out of poverty and a source of national pride. The canal was more than a project, it was a symbol of hope and ambition for the entire nation. A Hong Kong-based company was granted a 50-year concession to build and operate the canal, in exchange for financing the entire project. This partnership brought together global expertise and local aspirations, setting the stage for a massive undertaking. The world watched, wondering if this colossal dream could become reality. News outlets buzzed with speculation, and experts debated the project's feasibility and impact. For Nicaragua, it was about more than economics. It was about sovereignty and a new place in the world. The canal represented a chance to redefine the nation's identity and future. The canal was presented as a project by Nicaraguans, for Nicaraguans, even with foreign backing. Local engineers, workers, and leaders were at the forefront, determined to shape their own destiny. It was a bold declaration of intent to shape the nation's destiny. The canal became a rallying point for dreams of progress and independence, but the path ahead was filled with immense challenges. Environmental concerns, protests, and questions about transparency threatened to derail the project at every turn. The dream was powerful, but the risks were just as great. Financial uncertainty, political tensions, and the sheer scale of construction loomed large over every decision. Would Nicaragua finally claim its place at the center of global trade, or would the dream remain just that, a vision waiting for its time to come? The driving force behind the project was Wang Jing, a Chinese telecom billionaire. Through his company HKND, Wang promised to fund the $50 billion venture, including ports, an airport, and a logistics hub. He was an outsider in global construction, but his vision was grand. A canal for the world's biggest ships, boosting China's trade and influence. Many saw the project as part of China's push into Latin America, challenging US dominance. The canal fit China's Belt and Road ambitions, symbolizing its rise as a global superpower. The proposed route would cross Lake Nicaragua, requiring massive engineering and investment. Wang and the Nicaraguan government insisted it was a commercial venture, but the geopolitical stakes were clear. Despite the hype, the Nicaragua Canal project quickly stalled. Construction never truly began. Just a few access roads, then silence. Wang Jing's fortune collapsed in the 2015 Chinese stock market crash, leaving the project without funding. International investors were wary, and banks demanded more transparency. Protests erupted as farmers and indigenous communities faced displacement, accusing the government of selling out national sovereignty. The Chinese company's sweeping powers over Nicaraguan land fueled outrage. By 2026, HKND had vanished, offices closed, and the canal was all but abandoned. The government occasionally mentioned the project, but with no real progress. The grand vision became a ghost, haunting Nicaragua's political and economic landscape. The canal remains a monument to ambition, unbuilt and uncertain. The canal's environmental impact sparked fierce opposition. The route would cut through Lake Nicaragua, Central America's largest freshwater lake, threatening rare species and stirring up toxic sediment. Rainforests and wetlands would be destroyed, endangering countless plants and animals. Environmental assessments were rushed and criticized as inadequate. Up to 120,000 people, many indigenous, faced forced relocation with little compensation. Protests swept the country as communities fought to protect their land and way of life. Activists argued they weren't against development, but against sacrificing their environment for foreign interests. Lake Nicaragua, the nation's heart, became a symbol of resistance. The human and ecological costs cast a long shadow over the canal dream. The Nicaragua Canal was always compared to its rival, the Panama Canal, sparking debates about which route could truly transform global shipping. Panama's century-old waterway is a global trade linchpin, recently expanded to handle bigger ships and more traffic than ever before. The Nicaraguan Canal aimed to outdo Panama by accommodating even larger vessels, supertankers and mega-container ships that couldn't fit through Panama's locks. But its route was 3 times longer, more complex, and riskier for the environment, cutting through sensitive rainforests and communities. Panama's canal is proven, efficient, and backed by a stable authority with decades of experience managing international trade. Nicaragua's project was high risk, with uncertain management and financing, and investors wary of political and economic instability. Panama enjoys broad public support. Nicaragua's canal was divisive from the start, sparking protests and heated debates among locals. The Nicaraguan venture promised more capacity and a new era for shipping, but Panama offered reliability and a proven track record. For global shipping, the choice was clear: stability and trust in Panama's established route won out over speculation and uncertainty. The Nicaragua Canal's promise was bold and ambitious, but its foundation was shaky, leaving its future uncertain and its legacy unfinished. Had it been built, the Nicaragua Canal would have redrawn global shipping routes, creating a new artery for international commerce. This ambitious project was envisioned as a rival to the Panama Canal, offering a wider, deeper passage for the world's largest vessels. It promised faster transit for the world's largest ships, lowering costs and shaking up trade patterns. Shipping companies could have saved days on their journeys, and the global flow of goods would have shifted dramatically. The geopolitical impact would be huge. A Chinese-backed canal in America's backyard, challenging U.S. influence. It would have sparked new rivalries and alliances as global powers vied for control over this strategic waterway. The project forced Panama to expand its own canal and spurred interest in new routes like the Arctic. Suddenly, nations were racing to secure their place in the future of shipping, exploring alternatives to traditional choke points. Nicaragua's ports and free trade zones could have transformed its economy, but also threatened its neighbors' revenues. The country stood on the brink of a potential economic boom, with hopes of new jobs and investment. The canal would have created new winners and losers in global trade, shifting the balance of economic power. Some nations would benefit from faster access, while others risked losing their competitive edge. Even as a plan, it made the world rethink its reliance on choke points. The mere possibility of a new route forced industries and governments to reconsider their strategies for moving goods. The dream was an economic engine that could lift Nicaragua, or disrupt the region. For many, it represented hope for a brighter future, while others feared the risks and upheaval it could bring. But with the project stalled, the world's shipping map remains unchanged. The grand vision of a new canal has faded, leaving only questions about what might have been. The tides of trade continue, but the Nicaraguan shortcut is still just a dream, an unbuilt gateway that could have changed the world, but for now, remains only a possibility on the map. In 2026, the Nicaragua Canal is little more than a memory. Wang Jing and HKND are gone, the government's concession cancelled, and the land untouched. The project's failure is a lesson in the limits of money, ambition, and ignoring local voices. For China, it's a cautionary tale about mega projects abroad. For Nicaragua, it's bittersweet. The environment is safe, but the promised prosperity never came. The dream isn't dead, just dormant. Geography still favors a second canal, but any future attempt must be transparent, sustainable, and inclusive. For now, the Nicaragua Canal is a story of ambition and hubris, a grand vision that collapsed under its own weight. Only a quiet path remains, where a great waterway was meant to be.